Welcome to Clay Center Now. I'm Shannon Stark with Clay Center Area Chamber of Commerce, and today we're sitting down with C.L. Snodgrass to talk about Clay Center City Band. So we're excited to learn about the history and what City Band has going on right now, and you guys always have a busy summer, so just jumping right in and talking about the history of it. When did City Band officially start in Clay Center?
Well, I think the City Band actually started when it was supported by the city in 1916. 103 years ago. 3 years ago we had our 100th anniversary, and it was a nice event, but before 1916 we've been, through the Historical Society, we've been able to find out that there were some town bands, and but we go back and the first city band was in 1916, and on the back of this shirt, it lists the directors. We had these made 3 years ago, and the first city band director was a gentleman named Harvey Evans. Of course, I don't know him, but that's what I do know about him, is that he was the first director.
Very neat.
And then after that, there was a gentleman named A.E. Hapgood, and then F.W. Paul, none of whom I knew, but all these people, I think there were 6 band directors before 1940, and so from 1916 to 1940 there was that. Now, also the city band initially did not play at the band shell, because the band shell wasn't built until 1934.
So talking about the band shell at Dexter Park.
At Dexter Park, right. But the band, up until that time, there was a bandstand, not a shell, but a bandstand. And I think it was on the west side of the courthouse. And so I've seen pictures of it, and I've seen some pictures of a band there, but I think that's where they played. And then in 1934, I think it was a WPA project, Dexter Park band shell was built.
So the band shell was built in 1934,
34.
and they've played there ever since.
Yeah, except for a period of about 6 years in 1990. I'll jump ahead that many years, but it was condemned because there were some bricks falling out of the top, and they thought it was dangerous. So for 6 years, from 1990 to 1996, there was we played at some rest homes, we played everybody but in the shell. And then finally in 1996, Don Reed and the city council decided that we really did need to get it fixed or torn down or something, and it was fixed. So we've been there ever since.
I'm glad they were able to restore it, because
it was great.
It's
a great place.
Yeah, very cool. So going back to the directors a little bit, there was 6 directors up until 1940. And then your family moved to town.
Our family moved here in 1937, and I think for the first couple of years that my dad did not direct it. But I think beginning in either 39 or 40, he started directing the city band, and was a director until 1967, when he had his first heart attack, and that's when I came back. And I didn't direct the summer of '67. A gentleman by the name of Jim Martin, who used to be the vocal music teacher here at the high school, was a director. And then I actually started the next year in the summer of 1968. But
so what are your first memories of City Band?
Oh, my first memories of City Band were as a popcorn salesman. There was a restaurant right next to where we're sitting now. A gentleman by the name of Charlie Montell ran it, and he always used to have, he used to send a couple of us 10-year-olds down to the park with bags of popcorn around our neck, and we'd sell it for a dime. I think he might have given us 2 cents, but a guy named Scott McVeigh, who was a friend of mine, a couple of years younger, but we still talk about that, all the money we made selling popcorn.
Sell popcorn.
Right.
Yeah.
So those are my first memories, and then I think I might have started playing in 1948 or 49, and I played, of course, through high school, and then I was gone for about 12 years. And when I came back in '67, I played and directed. Most of the time directed, but did some playing too when somebody else wanted to direct.
Yeah, very good. Well, that's awesome. And so you began playing as a child then? I mean, at a very young age.
Yeah,
you
I
began
did,
playing in city band.
Probably 12. But
Yeah.
there were some other young people who played. You know, when I know when they started, it was certainly an adult, all male city band, and I know when my dad came and started working in the high school, he started using some younger people and ladies, women, and which wasn't done before the 40s, but it was something that needed to be done.
Yeah.
And it actually improved the band.
That's great. Yeah, I like to see city band and the involvement. You get the schools involved and
Yes.
Alumni involved and
Right, and we do. We have people who still come back and play during the year, and so that's kind of where we are.
yeah, that's very great. And so talking about the past rehearsals and stuff, you used to meet up at City Hall. You were...
Yeah, up until, and I was trying to do some thinking on this, but probably up until the 70s or mid-70s, we rehearsed every Monday night throughout the year on the very third floor of the City Hall.
And I didn't even know there was a third floor.
There is a
in the
third
city.
floor, and just one nice room, big room, and so that's where we rehearsed. And but I say it was every Monday night, and then we still did our 8 concerts during the summer.
You do 8 concerts.
Right.
Wednesday.
June and July, and I don't think we ever did many more than that, but mainly those, you know.
So Wednesday nights, right?
Wednesday nights, 8 o'clock.
Wednesday nights, 8 o'clock at Dexter Park and the band shell. You can see Clay Center City Band perform in the summertime, all of June and July. We'll be talking about performances they have coming up and some exciting news for one of their performances when we come back.
Count on our team at Eagle for reliable internet, TV, and phone, because keeping you connected is what we do. Eagle Communications, our community connected. Count on our team at Eagle for business class phone, internet, and technology solutions, because keeping your business connected is what we do. Eagle Communications, our community connected.
Welcome back to Clay Center Now. I'm Shannon Stark with Clay Center Area Chamber of Commerce, and I'm sitting down today with C.L. Snodgrass talking about Clay Center City Band. So before the break, we got to talk a little bit about the directors in the past for Clay Center City Band, but tell me a little bit more about the people that you remember growing up, the people that have been involved in this city band.
Well, when I was growing up, everybody was certainly older, and there were some real interesting people in it. One of the people I remember was a gentleman named Walt Sebring, and he was an old German who was and he might have been, if not playing in 1916, he might have been playing shortly after, but he was a tuba player. And he had an old beat up sousaphone that probably, I think it's in the Historical Museum now. And he ran a shine parlor down where George Appleton is now. He shined shoes, had pinball machine in there. That's where I learned to play pinball. And but he was a very interesting person, and kind of a hot-tempered guy who'd get mad quite often, but somebody we all enjoyed. Lauren Law, who ran a real estate insurance agency here, and he was the bass drummer, and he was a good bass drummer, but he was also the announcer. He loved to announce, a little like Phil Casper, you know. I call Phil the new Lauren Law, but both of them do a great job of announcing. But he was an interesting person. Mike Foley, and Mike was a person who was he was a drummer, and of course they ran a shoe store here for a number of years, and he's no longer with us. But those are 3 of the interesting people. We also have a lot of people who play in the city band now who have done anywhere from 45 to 55 years.
That's amazing.
It is. And I think of, and I don't want to leave any out, but I'm going to mention Dan Herron, Dan and Brenda Herron. Dinah Crawford was a lady who has passed, but her daughter is Sandy Fox. And Dinah was the secretary probably from the early 50s up almost probably through a lot of the 90s. And she kept the books and kept track of who was there and so on. But Brenda does that now. But the other people who I really want to mention who have been long-term players, I said Dan and Brenda, Sandy Carlson, Kathy Hafner, Sandy Fox, who I mentioned, Randy Milligan has played for a long time, Randy Carlson, and I might be missing one or two, but those are people who've been with the city band just for years.
Years, yeah.
You think of 40 to 50 years doing that, those are paid some dues.
Yeah. That's really amazing to see the support and the people that have stuck with it, and because it takes a team to get it all done. So.
Yeah, we have a few people who come from Manhattan to play. I think we have 4 or 5 people. A couple of my students who, one's an older gentleman, and I have a high school girl who comes over and plays. But
that's fun.
And we have about probably 45 people who show up regularly. You know, this is the band shell seats 45 comfortably. When we had the 100th anniversary 3 years ago, we had almost 60 up there, and we couldn't have gotten 61. And we actually built a little extension on the stage too.
But
it holds 45 people.
Good, and it's nice that it's full every week.
Yeah, it is, and that's great. You know, we don't always have 45, but generally from 35 to 45.
Good. Tell me a little bit about your rehearsals now. You talked about in the past how it used to be up in City Hall. What do you guys do to prepare?
Thanks to the school district, we rehearsed in a nice school, air conditioning at the high school. And a number of years ago, the city band used to have their own music. And so we moved all the city band library, so it's part of the high school library now. And so we use the music there. We also use a lot of the high school's equipment. The city band used to have their own equipment too, but that's no longer. We've kind of merged, but we're so grateful that we have a good place to rehearse. We start our rehearsals at 6:15 on Wednesday nights, and we rehearse for about an hour and 15 minutes. At 7:30, we load up, go down to the City Hall, and by 8 o'clock, we're playing about a 40-minute concert.
Nice. So
yeah, and we get it all done in one night.
Right.
Not many towns do that.
Yeah.
But to me, that's one of the reasons that we have good attendance, because people know that they only are giving up one night.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's very important that we do that.
Yeah. Good. So you talked a little bit when we were off camera about when you were a kid and going down and setting up the concert area. So you had to load everything up from City Hall and go down to the park.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we moved all the stands, chairs from the 3rd floor down to the pickup truck, took it over to the band shell, and then afterwards moved it back up to the 3rd floor of the City Hall. That was a Snodgrass family
event.
Duty.
Requirement.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's fun. So, tell me a little bit about this picture that you brought with you. It's a wonderful picture.
Well, this is a picture that, well, you talk about Jim Richardson, but you know who he is because you lived in Lindsborg.
Yes, I did. My husband and I lived in Lindsborg for 2 years, and Jim Richardson is a National Geographic photographer, and he took this photo in. Does it say
probably
the year?
2000.
2000?
Maybe a little. Oh, that photo was taken probably in 1980.
1980.
Yeah.
So there was a storm moving in behind the band shell.
About 10 or 15 years ago, somebody brought me this photo and said, and I knew nothing about it. And I got to looking at it, and finally I realized that it wasn't the Clay Center City Band, it was a Manhattan City Band. I'm over there on the left telling them this is the last, and then I put it all together, I remembered it. But I'm telling them, this is your last number, the storm's coming in, you've got to get out of here. And they did, but it was too late. Everybody got drenched. But we used to exchange concerts every year with the Manhattan City Band. The reason we don't anymore is because they are 100 strong, and there's no way we can get them on our place.
Yeah.
And so that's something that we enjoy doing for so many years, but we don't do it anymore.
Yeah. Well, and Jim's been, honored in Life magazine, and he's a National Geographic photographer, and CBS News, and so for him to capture this and
this is a picture, and he sends me whenever I use this to write notes to people, and I probably over the years ordered 100 of them, but I always get them from him whenever I pay for them. But
right, he's a really neat guy. So, but he said that it says on here that he's a sucker for city bands playing in park band shows on summer nights. So
he said he's an old tuba player.
Yes, so it's fun that he got to visit Clay Center and see that. So we will be talking about the end of City Band season coming up this summer, right after this break.
At Eagle Marketing Solutions, we believe your advertising should be as unique as your business. Because if it's important to you, it's important to us. Call Eagle today for your customized marketing plan.
Eagle Technology Solutions is the strategic advisor for your IT business needs. Because if it's important to you, it's important to us. Call today, Eagle Technology Solutions. Technology done right.
Welcome back to Clay Center Now. I'm Shannon Stark with Clay Center Area Chamber of Commerce, and I'm sitting down with C.L. Snodgrass today talking about the Clay Center City Band. And we've talked a lot about the history of the band and people that are still involved, and talking now about your season. You still have the rest of July to perform, and then July 24th
July 24th is our last concert.
Your final concert.
And this year we're going to do our final concert for the first time inside. And we're going to do it at the Rex Theater. A couple of reasons for that. I really want to get out of the heat and the possibility of rain, plus the fact that the stage at the Rex Theater is great, and I think the facility is great. And we would just like to play in there. And I think the stage will hold 50 or 60 piece band. And so we are looking forward to that, and that'll be on the 24th. And this is sponsored by the Clay County Arts Council, but it's a free concert to everybody. The Arts Council is just sponsoring it. One of the things we're doing, or another thing, we're bringing the Little Apple Chorus to Clay Center that night, and they will be singing with the band as well as doing a couple of numbers of their own. I think it's about a 30-piece men's chorus, and this summer it's directed by Ken Lang, who so many people remember. Ken retired a couple of years ago from directing it, but he's directing this summer to fill in for the person who is the director and I think is on vacation or taking some schooling or something.
Yeah.
So we're really looking forward to playing inside.
A wonderful concert, and no reason to get rained out or.
No reason to get rained out, and we'll be able to
heat.
do all of our things there.
Good. So July 24th at 8 p.m. still, right?
Correct.
The time.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock at the Rex Theater will be your final concert, and then Little Apple Chorus is out of Manhattan.
Correct.
Yes, and they're going to be performing as well, so it should be an entertaining night.
Yeah, it's about, we try to keep our concerts when we're outside to 40 minutes. This will not exceed an hour. I'm a person who really thinks that most concerts that I go to should be around that length.
Right.
But, don't hold me to that, but that's what our goal is.
Yeah, but it should be entertaining, so
Right.
good. And this is a little bit, your final concert's also a little bit of a kickoff for the Arts Council's
Right.
season.
The Arts Council, this is the final event that the Arts Council has sponsored. And that night we're going to announce what the events are for the 2019-2020 season for the for the Arts Council. We will not be selling memberships that night because what we are asking people to do, if you feel like it, is to make a donation to the Rex Theater for improvements for the Rex Theater. I think anybody who has been in the theater business knows how much speakers, knows how much curtains, lights, anything like that cost. They're just horrendous. And what they've done, the money they've put into the theater to make it so nice for us has been great. But I know they want to do more, and that night we're going to ask people, if you can, to make a small donation, large donation. And I think it's going to go for a back curtain. It may go for something else, but I think that's what their want list is. And so we're asking people to do that evening.
Good. So come out and get entertained and make a little donation to, because our community is so lucky to have a wonderful facility.
I think it's one of the best things that's happened in all the years I've lived here.
That's
I really
awesome.
do.
Yeah.
I have fond memories of the Rex Theater, and what they've done to it is first class.
That's great. So great. Coming from you, you know, that means a lot for our community to have that great of a facility and be able to perform up there. So, yes. So Wednesday night, July 24th, is the final concert for Clay Center City Band, and they will be performing at the Rex Theater and also announcing Arts Council's season, what they have in store for us. So.
Correct.
Well, thank you for sitting down with us.
Thank you.
It's been so interesting to hear about the history of City Band, and we're lucky to have something in the park for families to come enjoy. And
still enjoy it.
Yeah, I love it. So thank you.
Okay.
This is Shannon Stark with Clay Center Now. Thanks for joining us.